Hello and welcome to Discovering the World of Natural Health. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. We're looking forward to sharing knowledge and information that will be helpful to you in taking care of your body, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. It's all about you knowing how to take care and overcome something that's called neglect. We basically are very good at neglecting our bodies in every aspect. We neglect a lot of things. We procrastinate, and the neglect is part of what gets us into our trouble that we have when it comes to keeping our bodies productive and agile and making it really whole again. Watching a documentary on Ruby, who lived in the mountains of North Carolina, Appalachian, and they asked her what was one of the good things that she did to keep herself agile, moving, and she said, I exercise, I eat Jell-O. And one of the things there about the Jell-O, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but the nutrients in Jell-O can help the body to move easier and better and be more agile. So I just asked you to take your time to think about what it is that you want to do, what can you do, what should you do, and what did we do to keep us where we are, either digressing or going forward and moving in an affirmative way. So the thing that I was wanting to share, that it is essential, very essential, that we educate ourselves about our bodies. You're looking at me, and you look at yourself, you look in the mirror. You see a physical specimen of an individual. By looking in the mirror, you can tell a whole lot about how well you are. Yes, we're doing this on Monday, the 25th of July, and we're recording this for your benefit. So, what we are made of and what our bodies need. If we know what our bodies need, and hopefully we can share some knowledge and information with you at Remedy This Naturally that will help you understand what the body needs. And we're the ones who decide whether to neglect our bodies or whether to do our part to stay well. It is our responsibility. It is up to you and I to make sure that we do that. We don't need to even think about trying to blame it on somebody else, because we have the ability, we have the knowledge, we have the information. We have more knowledge and information than I believe mankind has known for many, many a moon, so to speak. So what can we do our part to stay well? If you will talk to a busy physician, someone that's got more clients than they really can dedicate themselves to, they will tell you to practice self-care. That means be aware of what's going on. You understand when there's an ache and a pain. You understand when something's not the way it should be, and you make the changes to make it the way it ought to be. And that's important. It can save us time, it can save us money if we will not neglect the things that we have about our body, a mind, a soul, a spirit. And we can stay well. One of the greatest things I think that is so positive for us is that we've made changes, we've made things that are positive, and when those things happen, we end up with a feeling of confidence. If you are confident about something, then you know how to take responsibility. You know how to make sure the responsibility you do gives you a better classification of who you are and how you are. I remember reading a book called The Ageless Remedies from Mother's Kitchen. That is a fantastic book on understanding that and how to bake. There's another one about spices and how the spices, basically you use an herb, you use a plant for a specific need. In this case, you would say it's a spice. Not necessarily it's an herb, but it is. And it's something that can be very, very beneficial to us. Let's talk about something for a moment about food. Plastic food is not food, or I should say healthy food, because it's non-assimilatable and able to help us enjoy our life and body. Healthy food is not plastic, refined, puffed up, stabilized, or chemicalized for appearance preservation or for shelf life. Think about what is available to us when it comes to food. Walk into the grocery store, and if you go up and down the aisles, you will find that what the food is, it's bleached, it's plastic, a lot of stuff in there, refined, it's puffed up, it's stabilized, and chemicalized. And what that is basically for, shelf life. How long can we let you look on the back of that and say, oh, okay, that expires on a certain date? And what can we do about that? What can we take for that? It's not overcooked or undercooked. Healthy food is not bleached and sprayed, as in cereals and grains. It is not green-picked fruit, so you can start in California and get it back to us, depending on what mode of transportation gets it to us to be able to consume it. Meat with diphenhydramine, eggs from chickens fed with drugs and hormones in the feed. And that feed's going to go into the production of the meat, the eggs, the fruit, whatever it may be. Nor milk in cartons treated with formaldehyde and dioxin. Now, dioxin is the same thing as Agent Orange. And we talked about that a little bit last week, and the chemicals and the toxins, and how the individual could not find out what was wrong with them. And once someone gave them the suggestion, because they had the same type of symptoms, is that they looked into it and found out, yeah, they had been poisoned with Agent Orange. Therefore, the body was doing things that they saw white in the brain area. The brain's ability to think and to come up with answers and information was in a negative way. And so when we're exposed to this and we have neglect on our part of taking care of it, and the people who were responsible in the military who had the individuals be exposed to Agent Orange didn't do what was in the best interest of our soldiers who were poisoned. So Agent Orange is in milk. Healthy food, just plain. Healthy food's just plain. It's bizarre. It doesn't have to be spicy. Not that you can't use some spicy herbs to make it that way. But what we want is just plain, good food. And the foods we provide with us, the nutrients, have to have us make a choice. The foods we choose provide the nutrients we require to stay healthy. Provide the nutrients we need to stay healthy. That's so important. It is important to consider the proper quality, good food, not trashy food. You want something that with good quality, quantity, and preparation, so we can have that best food we can have when we eat. The electromagnetic energy in food and the proper food combining. In addition, the atmosphere surrounding the preparation of food affects the food and all who eat it. Yeah, it makes a difference how the food is cooked. It makes a difference how we are getting our foods, what has been done to them or not been done to them before we consume them. And we need to take the time to make sure that the foods that we ingest are what the body needs to give us the maximum ability in how we use the nourishment and the energy from the foods we eat. It's critical, and we are the ones that make that choice. In addition, the atmosphere around the preparation of food affects the food and all who eat it. When we have a negative attitude and we're eating, we're putting that negative attitude on the food. When we are giving our bodies food in an atmosphere or an environment that is negative, we are putting negative vibrations on the food. It's like, give you an example. And I'm going to choose a deer for this particular thing. It could be a cow. But when the dogs chase the deer and they're trying to get it where it can bring it by where we're standing beside the road, and so we can shoot this deer. Well, what in the world is the deer doing? The deer has its adrenaline, has its fear as much as it can go and as fast as it can go, because it doesn't want the dogs to catch up with it, because it knows they'll kill it. If not, the bullet of the hunter will get it. So when that animal is captured in fear, killed in fear, that is in the meat. That negative energy is in the meat. And when we consume it, we're taking that negative energy there. I listened to the people in Appalachia and how they'd leave the cows run till the fall time come and it was time for butchering. They'd go round them up and they would actually keep them corralled for about a week and giving them feed and hay and different things that would just help to relax them, help them to be good meat for us to eat. So maybe you've never thought about that, but that is what happens. Think, for example, when you are afraid and how that fear consumes what you're doing and how you're involved in things. So we want to surround the preparations of food affects the food. All who eat it. Okay? That goes from you and I as humans to our dogs and our cats, or even our little mice in the cages to feed our animals with. The other thing is, bless the food. Tell you what I do when it comes to eating and it's time to say my prayers. I really was taught, fold your hands and pray. Bless, thank the Lord for the food. Thank Him for us to be together. Thank you for the hands that prepared it. We just went on and prayed about it. But I like taking my plate. This is my plate. This is my food. And I love taking my hands and doing this and saying, my hands surround the food I have been given so that I can give the body I live in the maximum nourishment, the maximum ability to heal itself, and to take and remove any of the negative that's in the environment of this food, the vibrations of this food, and God's blessing over and above will remove anything I should not be eating negatively. So with that in mind, I'm blessing the food to do that with. That is so critical. The other thing, be grateful. Not sit there and criticize what's on the table. Criticize what someone has brought to you at the restaurant. Criticize. No. This is a ritual of life that we're doing for us. This is a ritual that we're in the process of taking a few moments out to eat, and so we can ingest and enjoy. Let's not be neglectful about what we're in the process of doing. Let's enjoy. Let's bless our food. Let's be grateful for our food. And if you are cooking, and just for the sake of energy put into the food, I would suggest always stir your food in a clockwise fashion, going around and around. The other thing is, eat regularly. And it's best to eat regular, nutritious, small meals when we are eating. So that's something it's important for us to do. Because we are neglectful, we become diseased. We become negative. And if we'll move these things out of the way, then the body has no room for the negative. It only has room for the grateful and the blessings and the positive what can come from it. You know, give you an idea. And you guys that drink beer, you know, it's recommended to drink out of a bottle, not out of a can. And that can is usually aluminum, and the ingredients, especially when they get hot in this weather. If you're drinking bottled water now, and I'm making this statement on Monday the 25th of July, the water that is exposed to the sun and the heat, you can actually taste the plastic in that water. Yeah. And what has happened? Whatever that plastic is made of is being put into the water, and we are ingesting the throw-off of the chemicals from the bottle to the water, putting it into our system, and we're having that to contend with. So best to drink that beer out of a bottle, not out of a can. Same goes with actually leaving the carbonated drinks alone and sitting in the trucks or whatever it may be. Okay? A suggestion for food, simple food combinations are a must to make the stomach work properly. Serve only 3 or 4 things at a time, but change with every meal and you will have a healthy family. For breakfast, these are throwouts to you, okay? Have a high protein meal with an egg or meat with vegetable. For lunch, it's also important to have protein, vegetable, or potatoes and vegetable. Basically, if you want to get it where the body can do its job best, it's recommended that no protein after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And for your dinner meal, have carbohydrates and vegetables. Those are some things the body can ingest. Those are the things you don't have to go to bed with that heavy protein in your gut. Eat fruits alone or on the empty stomach. And actually, when the fruits, if you do eat them alone, they should be done 30 minutes before a meal. This includes bread, unless the bread is sprouted, whole grain, and non-processed. We should never eat milk and meat at the same meal. Milk and meat require 2 different digestive enzymes. If eaten together, the meat will not digest properly. Eat carbohydrates with vegetables. Both raw and cooked vegetables should be eaten at mealtime. 50% raw, 50% cooked. And it's recommended that we do not use aluminum pots and pans. Do not drink soft drinks or beer from aluminum cans. Avoid processed foods and sugar products. Avoid greasy, fried foods. Okay? Those are some of the things. So we eat these things that we should refrain from. And what happens is, it's been stated that cheese, chocolate, corn, eggs, milk, MSG, perfume, soy products, meat, a lot of them are responsible for allergies. And when the body detects a foreign substance, it will react in what is called allergies, or something it is called hay fever. Allergies and hay fever are symptoms of toxins and poisons in the bloodstream, in the lymphatic system, and the tissue. Allergies have 2 factors in common: chemical poison and parasites. Allergic conditions also indicate a congested liver, gallbladder, and or candida overgrowth in the body. Just something you may have never even thought about. So those are allergies, could be. Some tips by Hannah Kroger, who was a immigrant, came to the United States and taught health and wellness, did a great job of it. Avoid cheese if mucus conditions are present. So if you have mucus, leave the cheese alone. Actually, leave all the dairy products alone. Chocolate lowers your vibration. It contains phosphate, which can cause allergic reaction. Often an allergy to corn is actually an allergy to dioxin, which has an affinity for the kernels of corn. Check for the remedies dioxin and Helmus whipped together. So check for a possible vitamin A deficiency. Some people think they're allergic to eggs when a substance in eggs creates too much insulin. Try any of the following as milk substitute. What can you do? Okay? We do this one here with Remedy This Natural. When you come in to get a shake, we'll substitute almond milk for you if that's what you like. So those are things you can do. You can substitute for milk would be almond milk, pine nut milk, sesame milk, rice or soy milk. Those are available for us to be able to use. So that's important. When we neglect ourselves and what we do, it's our own fault because we didn't do and give the body what it needed for it to have. Okay? That's topic of all about neglect. We neglect to do what's in the best interest of the home we live in, our body. Okay? So we need minerals. We need calcium. We need these things. Why? Because they give the body what it needs so it can function properly, and it can give us a better chance of enjoying our life and our health and doing it with natural products. That's important. Okay, I can go back to that. Thank you. Magnesium. What is an indication of magnesium problem, deficiency? Aching neck and shoulders. The muscles there will be cause a problem. And also in the magnesium, sometimes migraine headaches, allergy to wood, burning sensation in the mouth, tooth decay, bedwetting, chilly after retiring some fear. Magnesium is used to utilize carbohydrates properly, to make our own protein from amino acids, and to, just for example, having a cramp. Magnesium oxide is for aching muscles that twist and become stiff. It is a counter player to calcium. So both of those two work great together, as Tony Tarker would say. One of the things that most people are not familiar with, need to check on, and that is selenium, premature aging, infertility, lowered intelligence, heart disease, tumors. Selenium is the new trace mineral that is known to fight infection, detoxify many common pollutants, is a natural antioxidant, and helps to preserve elasticity. It is good for the skin, vision, promotes deeper sleep, and can also help with cancer. Selenium and vitamin E act synergistically in the aid to the production of antibodies and help in the mainstream a healthy heart and liver. We're talking about selenium. When combined with vitamin E and zinc, may also provide relief from enlarged prostate. See, just it's there. It's been published and helps us to be able to know. It's food-related deficiencies. I'm not going to get all that. I'm just going to kind of give you some heads up, some of the things that are good. So, bottom line is, what are we doing to neglect our body? What can we do to know that we're not neglecting ourselves? Lecithin deficiency indications are high cholesterol, unexplained fatigue, heart fatigue, adrenal exhaustion, nerve disorders, aging, herpes, brain and spinal disorders. The human brain contains 28% lecithin, and the spinal cord has not less than 25%. Each nerve is surrounded by a sheath which contains 25% lecithin. A network of lecithin is inside every cell wall and is needed for metabolism of the nerves. Lecithin is needed in carbohydrates, fat, and protein digestion, and it is a balancing factor in the acid alkalinity measure of the body. So, very important to know that lecithin has that many benefits. And what we're talking about is neglect. Exercise is very important. Our diet supports our ability to learn. Eliminate chemicals, food colorings, and flavorings. Eliminate fake foods, coffee, sugar, salted snacks, and soft drinks. The depleted physical and nervous system results in a state of habit when it comes to learning. Attention spans, the ability to take instructions and process them. Up to 25% and sometimes more of the body's energy. Flow as glycogen is released from the liver. It is important to use your brain, exercise your mind, read every day, learn something new every day. Not only does zinc help us men folks out with our sexual ability, but zinc is also an important mineral that supports intelligence. Okay, that's important. Let's don't be neglectful on sleep. Regularity of sleep is important. 8 hours of sleep per night is recommended. 5 hours of interrupted sleep is needed for proper sleep, and it helps to keep the rapid eyelids flapping. Remove items from your room that bother you. Remove all unnecessary electrical devices. What are we talking about when we talk about get stuff out of your room? All right. The things that are in the room that have electrical current. You have a clock. It's got electricity going to it. You got telephones, cell phones. You got all these things that are there. You even may have the electric panel from the outdoors coming to your meter box, and that's bringing that negative energy into the house and affecting us. It has a certain wave, it has a certain way of energy. And then we would like to have a different, more conducive to humanness than electricity is. No such word for that, but I made it up. Maybe you understand. We need to make sure that we get rid of all the negative energy that is affecting us. That brings me to this. What conducts electricity? What causes electricity to flow? What causes it to go throughout our body other than blood? The blood's carrying it, but our bodies consist of 90% water. Water is an important component of the cells and tissues. It enables glands to manufacture their particular secretions and is needed for assimilation and transmutation of minerals, vitamins, food, and oxygen. That sounds like a great task for the water to be able to give us. And especially in this hot weather we have, do not become dehydrated. Okay? It kind of short circuits us. We don't have the good flow of energy. And so I would say drink plenty of good, pure, clean water, at least 6 to 8 glasses daily. Now, the going rule for water intake, and you may want to try some of the Kangen water at Remedy This Naturally, which takes the chemicals out of the water, and it also puts the pH of the water where the body can become alkaline. So that's important to us. Fresh juices, herb teas, and buttermilk. Don't hear too much about buttermilk anymore, okay? Avoid soda pop, sweetened juices, and alcoholic drinks. There's a natural way to oxygenate and energize your body. Simply take the liquid and aerate by pouring from one container to another container. And bless and thank God you got it, okay? Simply take the liquid and aerate it by pouring from one container to another while blessing the liquid. Now your water has a more positive, healthful vibration. Energy, frequency. For you individuals that are thinking about, I'm getting off base on what I'm saying about it. Energy, everything's energy. Frequency, vibrations. And that's what transmit the positive or the negative throughout our body, from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, extremities of the fingers. Energy to help us be able to have what we need, and positive thoughts. I also try to not be in too big a hurry, that I will take my bottle of water, and actually I have it in a thermos that I use, and I will also do as I do my meal. I will bless the water as I have blessed the food. And the other thing is, when you are blessing the food, remember we talked about fear and how a deer would be all crazy and running and have that negative energy there? If we've got that, take the food, set the plate down, put your hands over it, and ask that your energy be put on that food. Because it was raised somebody else, it has been transported through so many different ways, by putting your energy, by putting your blessing on that food, then you are opening up the door for your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit to be at ease, where you are taking control and charge of the elements that we're putting into our bodies. The other thing, tap water often contains many dangerous chemicals. You want to know what they are? They normally put out a report every year about what's in our city water. And a lot of these chemicals are necessary so people don't get sick, but they're also dangerous. And when you're in the shower and you get the hot water turned on, and it says may contain dangerous chemicals that form a gas in the shower steam from the hot water. Avoid breathing steam from tap water. Use proper ventilation in your bathroom. And if you can do something like using the Kangen machine to take the fluoride out of the water, it's best if we don't ingest, but we need to cleanse it and make it pure for us to be able to not be neglectful. That is one of the things that is cause of disease, sickness, is we're neglecting the things that we need. The other item I want to share with you about what's going on and what we should do and how we should work with it is something a lot of times we have no ability to keep it from happening, okay? And that's a trauma. Sometimes we make them come upon ourselves, but most of the time they're coming from outside source. Like traumas, injuries to the body, that things are called accidents and operations. And injury, what it does, it messes up the aura. And I don't know if you know what an aura is, but that's the light that's around about us. It is in different colors, in different energy. And the aura is there. It's an electrical field around us. Says trauma or injuries to the body occur from accident and operations. An injury rocks the aura, and operation cuts the aura where there's been surgery. An injury offsets the aura, an operation takes hold in the aura. In all cause of trauma to the body, there are two things to be done. One, heal the injured part and heal the aura. If untreated, any form of trauma can lead to congestion in the body, and then congestion doesn't get it out. It's just like leaving the trash can in the house with the toxins and the poisons from the stuff that we dump there. We've got to move it on. We've got to get it out of the system and keep going. How can you do that? One of the things that is very beneficial is like foot reflexology to help take that deposit there. A lot of times we get these aches and pains and it just settles in and we need to move it out. And foot reflexology says foot reflexology plays an important role in helping traumatic and congestive disorders. And so we need to move that stuff out of our system. We need to keep it going. We need the energy to flow. And trauma can keep that from happening. So we need to do those. I'm not going to get into the hands-on, but if you find somebody that can do massage, reflexology, even taking and a bath, put some nice essential oils to help pull, detox, cleanse, rejoice in the relaxation, be proud of being one of the Father's children that are able to make us whole again. The bones, we've got to get them back and get them without having trauma. So, hands-on procedure, if you know someone that has that great gift. And be comfortable with whomever you do your massage with. Make sure that there is an energy flow that is positive coming between the two of you and make it work well. So that's something that trauma, let's overcome it. Let's get rid of it. Let's make it happen, okay? And then the other thing is congestion. That's another cause of unhealthiness within us. After a lifetime of eating wrong food, combination poisoned by chemicals, the additives, and no energy, after a while, the body's going to rebel. The body's going to say, enough is enough. Nothing works any longer. The eyes gave out. Everything hurts. The blood pressure goes up and down. And I got moods change from 1 second to the next. Not 1 minute, but the moods change. Now is the time to think of something fundamental, something that will change your life. Most health problems are totally due to toxic, overloaded alimentary tract. The cause-effect treatment for congestion is short-term fast and cleanses and help the body be able to remove the toxins, the poisons, and fasting and cleansing. Let the body do it. If you go back and you will look at religious practices, fast are critical in the healing of the person spiritually and physically to help get rid of the congestion. Cleanse that colon. Cleanse the pores. It's talked about the steam bath. Yes, it's important. But more than likely, you're going to need to soak and you're going to need to put the essential oils in there that will help us be able to remove those toxins and poisons out of ourselves. When you just give out of your energy and you don't have that energy more, you have that adrenal stress. Indicators of adrenal stress are like headaches, allergies, lethargic, dizziness, memory problems, fatigue and moodiness, inability to cope with stress. The adrenal glands are involved in metabolism of carbohydrates and the regulation of blood sugar. They also help maintain the salt and water balance in the body. Our adrenal glands are the seat of our physical power. These glands are easily depleted due to stress, environmental pollutants, and a poor nutritional habit. What's a poor nutritional habit? That is smoking, too much caffeine, alcohol, and drug abuse. Those are things that the adrenals are our fight and flight glands. We get to the point we go, nothing affects us anymore. We don't get out of the way of the stuff that needs to be gotten out of the way of. So those are some of the things we're talking about, how we can make them work better for us. You know, the idea that we are the cause of our illness, and once we accept what is our responsibility, then we can start looking for answers. Like lethargic, adrenals give out. Then we put something back in to help the adrenals do what they need to do. It's important that we take control and take charge of where we live. What was manufactured for us to be able to have and to live and to hold. We are the savior of ourselves. We have to tap in to the spiritual realm and understand what the deficiencies are. Then we take that knowledge and we take that information. It's just like the doctor takes the blood work, take the hair analysis, take the information, something is wrong, why is it wrong, what did we do, or what do we use too much of, so we can put it back into the body so we heal ourselves. We have that capability. We have the ability to overcome sickness, the crap in the world, all the things that rob us of joy unspeakable, that we can keep on keeping on. As we close in the next 2 minutes, I challenge you to realize that you and I need to make the changes so that we quit being neglectful. Yeah, I'm talking about we take and mess it up ourselves, and we don't take care of ourselves. That we can do what's necessary and have the part of being necessary. Get rid of the congestion. We didn't talk about, but we did hit upon environmental toxins. We hit trauma. Yeah. What else do we've got that we need to do to make us healthy? You can do it. We at Remedy This Naturally are there to help you understand that there are formulations, there are herbal supplements, there are things that help us just get into a mind of positiveness, like just putting on music to help your body be what it needs to be. As I move out for today, I thank you on this 25th day of July 2022, that your life and your health is in your hands. We love the opportunity to be a part of you making healthy choices. Love you guys greatly because God taught us how to love one another, and it's important we do that because it's healing within each of us. Take care. I'm your host, Claiborne Holtzman. May good health be yours.